大家好，欢迎来到今天世界很好玩，我是主持人德一。那今天也已经是第3集，我们还在讲着智能手机。我答应你们，下一集我们就换另外一个话题了。那今日呢，有大概20亿的智能手机使用者。可是今天我们邀请来一个特别嘉宾，没有用手机的女士。她是一个在 West Virginia 大学 Marshall University 的教授。那她是一个传播学教授。那我们现在对他疑问是一个身为教授，身为一个教学生怎么沟通的教授，他没有手机，他是怎么沟通的呢？那我们现在把嘉宾给请进来。Hi, Professor Barbara Tarter.
Hello, thank you so much for having me today.
Yes, we are so glad you're with us today, although you have a class to go to at 2. But so let's be quick and move on with the first question. So my first question for you would be, do you ever own a phone? Have you ever had a phone before?
No, I haven't had a cell phone.
OK， 所以 Barbara Tarter 还是说她从来没有用过手机。那我们下一个问题就要问她为什么她不用手机。So may I ask you, why don't you own a smartphone? Is it because you are a professor that you don't see it as a necessity?
No, I'm a communications professor, and I think we lose a lot with the smartphone. We lose a lot of the face-to-face, and I don't think we spend enough time with other people.
Right. So this is the reason why you don't own a smartphone.
Yes.
Yes, OK. 所以他说的是，他觉得身为一个教人家怎么沟通的教授呢，他认为如果他有了手机以后，他可能会失去跟人家面对面的那种沟通，所以他宁愿选择不用手机。So the question for you would be, how does it feel like? Do you think you are experiencing like more life than people who use smartphones?
I know there's a lot of convenience with the smartphone, perhaps, but I love to watch people. I love to be able to walk my dogs without worried about interruptions. I just enjoy being and seeing everything around me.
Yes, instead of like being on your phone, you like to just like dwell in the present and just feel and taste and see what is around you.
Exactly.
Okay. 所以他说就是呢，他觉得没用手机，他真的是可以投入在生活中。就可能比如说去遛狗的时候，他很喜欢就看看身边的人，就不要拿着手机在那边看手机一边遛狗什么这样子。So my third question for you would be, what are the other inconveniences that has brought you for you, like you don't have a smartphone, so in case of an emergency, like or you're outside and you need something and you don't have a phone, like are there any inconveniences?
Sure. One of the things that I think people have lost is depending on each other. If I have an emergency and I need help, then I simply ask somebody to help me. And so that's worked very well for me. And I don't have all of the interruptions. I don't have all the wasted time on a cell phone.
So like because like nowadays we use so much of our phones, like for example if you want to call for a taxi like an Uber, we would use our phone. If you want to order like some food back to our house, we would use Uber Eats. Like everything is on the phone. It's so convenient. That's why we are using so much of our smartphones. So what do you think? What is it for you?
Again, I think the cell phone takes away so much. I can always find a phone to call for pizza. I do have a home phone, a landline phone. And so I don't need all of those other things. I didn't have them in the past, and I don't know that there's a lot of reasons to need them now.
Okay, so I'm gonna translate for them. So
Sure.
Professor Tarter 说，就是说他家里是有一个家里的手机，家里的电话。那有什么事他可以回家打电话。那他觉得如果在外面有出什么意外，他可以就叫人帮忙，不用说用一个手机来救他的一命。Okay, so moving on with the next question, like, so how do you communicate with your family members when you're not at home with the landline phone? Like, do you communicate with them through emails? How would they know, like, at this second, like, you're safe or you're okay?
I don't.
Oh, you don't?
I really don't. I call them from my landline home, but they don't know where I am all of the time, and they don't know what I'm doing all of the time. Now, my mother knows that I'm doing this interview because I called a couple days ago.
Okay. Right.
So, but we don't have constant communication.
Okay. 所以他是说呢，他没有通常都不会好像每时每刻都保持着联络跟他家人，可是就可能几天以内会用家里电话打一次给他的家人啊，就看他说他是安全的，他下几天会做什么。So like have you like in the past has there been any incident that there was some emergency situation that happened when and you don't have a phone? Has anything like this happened before?
The only time I've really needed a phone, I did have a flat tire.
Okay.
And
right.
so I had to walk about 2 miles to a phone.
Wow.
But other than that, I really haven't had any great need for a phone.
So like during that time, did you feel like, oh crap, I think I should have a phone? Or you just like, oh, it's okay, I'm just going to walk 2 miles?
I think at that point in time, I was just more interested in walking the 2 miles.
Really? Wow. I think that's so rare. Like for me, I'll be like, I think I'm going to get a phone tomorrow. OK， 所以刚刚我问他就是说，之前有没有发生过一些意外，比如说有什么紧急事，他觉得他需要手机。那他刚就说，之前的时候他的那个轮胎爆了，他就得走2个 mile 去一个电话才能联络到人来帮助他。那我就问他，那时刻你会不会觉得明天我就要买一个手机的？他说他不需要，那时候他觉得 OK 走2个 mile 对他来说是 OK 的。OK，so 我们要问他下一个问题，就是说他对智能手机的人有什么想法吗？ So what do you think about the people who rely so much on their smartphones, from waking them up or reminding them of a meeting, or like in the last in the past decade, maybe we have to remember someone's phone number to dial it. But right now, we just like type into our phone someone's name and then the number is saved. So what do you think about this?
I think that people are very, very dependent on their phones, and it has become an addiction for many individuals. My students talk about they couldn't live without their phones. They wouldn't know what to do without a phone. And I don't think they give themselves enough credit. I think that they would be surprised at how much of life they're missing if they would just put their phone away.
Right, okay. 所以还是跟他学生说，有些学生会跟他说，他们没有手机根本就是活不下去。可是教授就会跟他们说，他觉得他们看小自己了，他觉得如果他们没有用手机，他们会活得更精彩。So like, do you think like in the future this is gonna cause any problem, like maybe deteriorate their intelligence, or maybe cause even like depression or anxiety?
There have been a lot of research done that shows that we've become very isolated. And I think the importance is that it's not as much the quantity of communication, because we're always sending messages, but it's the quality that we're missing. And so people have become so focused on their phones and waiting for a message and waiting, just like somebody who was addicted would be waiting for a cigarette, or waiting for whatever other types of addictions they might have. And I just think that we're going down a bad path. We need to see it as a tool, not a life.
Right. OK， 所以刚刚我问了他，你觉得这个问题会不会以后造成一个很巨大的问题？那他就说呢，他觉得如果我们再继续这样子，那么依靠手机呢，以后我们将会走下一个不好的路，因为现在我们的人与人之间的关系就变成quantity 不是 quality 的。那觉得如果你用手机的话，你会跟世界还是人会有一点分离的感觉。So my next question for you would be, do you think in the near future you would ever get yourself a smartphone or even a phone?
I think I will have to eventually,
Right.
because I think they're getting rid of phones everywhere, landline phones. I was in New Mexico last week, and I stayed at a very nice hotel, and there were no phones in the room.
Oh, okay.
And I know. So, and they're talking about taking out the phones, the landlines in our state. So I think eventually I don't have a choice,
Okay,
which is unfortunate.
Right. So how long do you think that's going to be? Like maybe in 2 years or next month, or?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think it will be probably a few years longer, but I think it's coming very fast.
And are you excited? Like, I mean, you haven't had a smartphone before, and how do you think your life is gonna change? Like, all these years you haven't had a smartphone, and then do you think you're gonna be like them or like us?
Like,
Yeah, I know, right?
hopefully not.
Yes. But you
I
never
think
know, right?
Yeah, I think I will probably use it the same way I use my landline. I'll probably turn it off until I need it.
Okay, 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 I'm gonna tell them. So 刚刚我就问他，你觉得他觉得在可能几年后他会不会买一台手机呢？他就说他可能需要买，因为现在在他住的地方呢，可能他们要把这些家里电话都拿掉了。那之前他去 New Mexico 旅行的时候，他住在一个很豪华的酒店，可是那里都没有电话，所以他觉得以后他可能就要买一台手机，可能就1-2年后还是3-4年后。那我就问他，你觉得你有手机以后会不会像我们一样？他说他可能会把这个智能手机对待成好像家里手机一样，就要用的时候才开，不用的时候就把它关机。Okay, so my next question for you would be, so we rely a lot on our smartphones, from getting the news, from sending messages, or even like going on social media and publishing our photos, like showing off like, oh, we're having a good life to our friends. So
Right.
and so how do you access to all these things? Like, how do you check out on your family members, or how do you watch the news? Do you use the TV or the computer?
You know, I also don't have cable.
You don't have cable, so you don't watch the TV
I watch movies, but
Okay.
I don't have cable.
on DVDs.
I read the newspaper.
Okay.
And so I get most of my news there. I can watch the news online if it's a big story,
All right.
but that's it.
Okay. So Professor Tarter 就说他都不用 cable， 所以他都不看电视，可是他会看一些 movies， 就看 DVD。那如果有什么 breaking news 呢，他就不能上网看那些新闻。Okay, so my next question for you would be, how do you think like this face-to-face communication is doing recently? Like when smartphones kind of come about, do you think it's improving it or it's not encouraging it?
One of my students commented that students don't even talk to each other anymore. They enter a class with a smartphone, they leave a class with a smartphone. You go to restaurants, and very expensive restaurants,
Yes.
and the two people that are on a date are on their phones instead of talking to each other.
So sad.
So I think
Yes.
it is sad.
Yes.
It's very sad.
Because like I was just listening to one song this morning. It just happened to jump on Spotify. And then the title of the song, I think it's by Lost Kings, and the title of the song is called Phone Down. I mean, like, it's so funny that the lyrics was saying like, can't you put your phone down? Like, I'm even like, don't have my clothes on or things like that. I feel like if they can make a song about it, it means that this situation is pretty serious, you know?
That is true.
Yes.
That is true. And you know, most people now are spending 3 hours on their phone. And 2 of those hours are for entertainment and social. And you think about how much more time you would have if you had another extra 3 hours. I don't know how they have time to do what they do.
Right. Yeah, I totally get it. Like, because I think I spend more than 3 hours on my phone a day. Like, because I think I'm very social media addicted. This is something I have to comprehend, and I sometimes have to tell myself, hey, stop. You have to stop. Like, and just like you say, if you don't spend time on this, like social media, you could be doing something else, like reading a book or talking to someone and getting to know them personally, and actually building a personal relationship that is quality, you know.
Quality.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
对，所以刚刚我就问了 Professor Tarter，他觉得手机来临了以后，人们的这样子面对面的关系是不是变得更好，还是没那么好了？那他就说呢，他学生上班呢就是用着手机，下班也带着手机。他在餐厅呢看到2个人在约会的时候也是看着手机，那他觉得这并不是一个很好的方式。他觉得人们应该把手机给放开，来真的面对面这样子说话。Okay, so my next question for you would be, so what do you think about Tinder? Like
Tinder?
Yes, like this social media thing where they could just swipe left and right and they can find the one. Like they don't have to, you know, just talk to people face to face, but actually through your mobile app you can find maybe your next girlfriend or your next boyfriend. How is it for you, like
Right.
back then and now?
Right. I don't use social media either.
Yes. Right.
And so go ahead.
Yeah, so like Tinder is an app where they could use it and then they could like see pictures of people or how they describe themselves, and then if they like the person they could just like swipe right or something. I'm not sure, but I think swipe right and tell that I like you, so hey, can we meet up? Like, you know, like just through a phone you can meet a person and make him your wife or make her your make him your husband or make her your wife.
Website.
Yes.
It's a dating website.
Yeah, dating app. So what do you think about that as for you, like dating in the past and then now that you hear that, oh, dating is like this right now?
Sure. I think that any type of media, we try to put our best foot forward. We try to make the best image.
Yes.
We try to say the best things about ourselves. And although we did that when we were dating in the past, without that, you could still read the nonverbal cues. You still found so much more that you liked or you didn't like. And you knew if somebody was being honest with you. And I don't know that the media today gives us all of that. And so a lot of times we're buying empty promises, things that really aren't there.
Right. So you think that this dating app thing is not the best idea because it might not what it seems to be.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
So 刚刚我就问了教授，他觉得 Tinder 也是一个就像中国的一个陌陌的 app， 就是你在那个 app 上你可以认识人，还是认识朋友，还是交一个男女朋友。那他觉得这个 app 呢就可以让人误会，可能你放上你的图片，还是你形容你自己是怎么样的人，那可能出来见面的时候，其实你长得并不是这样，还是你不是你所形容那种人。那这种方式呢，其实它还是没那么赞同。Okay, so I think I have my last question for you today.
Can I add one?
Yes, of course.
Can
sure,
I add
go
one?
ahead. Yes.
Okay. One other thing I might say is that we learn so much from mistakes. And I think sometimes these dating websites, they try to screen for us, and so we don't go through the mistakes that would make us better people.
Right.
And I think the old-fashioned way, we learn so much about other people and about ourselves that we just don't get from those social media sites.
Right. Yes, I totally agree with you. So like I've read articles that say that people would actually like cross beyond their phones and crossing the road, and then they would by the next second they didn't know like that would be the last thing they would see on the phone because they would be lying in their pool of blood. So what do you think about this? Like the article would say that they are comparing this addiction of phone to addiction of smoking. So is it that serious, or we are just not realizing because we are so much into our phones and we feel like it's normal? So what do you have to say about that?
I think you're right. I think it's the new normal, and we have students almost every semester that cross and you know, Marshall, we cross 3-4 lane highways with their phones, and I start out all of my classes saying I have a couple things I'm very concerned, and that's one of them. I actually have started to see people on bikes crossing the road with their cell phone watching.
I mean, this is crazy. Like, this is great multitasking.
It is
I can't
crazy.
even imagine, like, wow.
They have one hand on the handlebar and one on their phone, and they're holding it out and crossing a major intersection.
Wow, I'm impressed at what they can do. What we can do, I'm sorry. It's not they. I should be a part of them too. Right. So how do you think that we can battle this addiction?
Again, I think the problem is we have to see a cell phone as a tool and not as a lifestyle, and that if we use it as a tool, if we really use it effectively for things that we really need, then it can be very good. But I worry that we're losing a lot of thinking processes. The people with cell phones think that they have all this information at their fingers, and they do. They are able to search the internet, do whatever they wish, but they don't know how to think, how to critically think, because they haven't tried to figure the things out on their own. And so I think that's a problem. Again, it should be a tool to find information, not to solve everything.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna translate for them. I'm gonna try. Okay. So 刚刚我是问Professor Tarter， 他觉得，因为我之前有读一个文章，他就说把这个我们对手机的上瘾，把它形容成就好像抽烟一样。那真的是有那么严重吗？那他就说之前他在路上看到一个人就一边骑着脚车，手放在脚踏车，一边过马路一边看着手机。他觉得这是太危险了。那我就问他，那你觉得我们要怎么对付这个对手机的上瘾的情况？那他就说，我们只要把手机当做是一个用具，而不是我们一个生活。我们只要好好的对待它。就比如说，他发现他很多学生也是就没有用头脑怎么去想，怎么去面对一个问题，什么都就用手机搜索。那要是我们用手机当它只是一个工具，而不是我们生活，可能我们在生活中可以活得更精彩，可以真的是投入，而不是一直只对着手机。Okay, I think Professor Tarter, that's all the time we have for today, and thank you so much for being on this show and letting us know more about from another point of view, like of not using a phone, how we can probably live better. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, 那我们真的很感谢 Professor Tarter 今天来到我们的节目，给我们更多了解一个没有用手机的角度，看我们能怎么也是可以活下去的。那明天呢，我们就聊另外一个题目，关于是健康和饮食。那记得你们有什么可以去 Twitter， 是这里 Twitter 是这里对 Twitter 关注我 @girlalittle9。那我们明天见，拜拜。